What's up everybody? My name is Mark, this is Riffle Shuffle and Roll, and I've got another one for the Uno list. It's a new version of the greatest card game in the world. We got Uno All Wild. Ooh, look at that shimmer. If it's your first time visiting the channel, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell so you're notified about new games every week. So if you couldn't guess based on the box in the title, we've got an Uno game where every card is wild. There are some new action cards added to the deck. Let's just dive right in and check it out. So you get this sweet hollow foil box. At first I thought maybe the cards would be foil, but that is not the case. The majority of the deck is made up of your standard wild card. So there are no colors, there are no numbers. Every card is wild. All the classic actions are also there. You have your reverse, which changes direction of play. Your skip, which skips the next player. Draw 2, which makes the next player draw 2 and miss their turn. Draw 4, makes the next player draw 4 cards and miss their turn. Then you got some new actions. You've got the targeted draw 2. So the player who plays the target draw 2 picks a player, and that player must draw 2 cards. They do not miss their next turn though. You've got the double skip, which skips the next 2 players, and you've got the forced swap. The player who plays the forced swap card picks another player. Those 2 people swap hands. Now it's important to remember, if one of the players in the swap ends up with 1 card in their hand, they must say Uno. If they don't and someone else says it, they have to take the draw 2 penalty. Setup is the same as classic Uno. Each player gets 7 cards, place the rest face down in the center, and turn the top one over to begin the discard pile. The player left of the dealer gets to go first. If the first card that is flipped over to begin the discard pile is an action card, that action happens. So if it's a skip, player 1 is skipped, and play would go to the next player. If it's a target draw 2, the dealer gets to pick a player and force them to draw 2. Remember, that player will not lose their next turn though. Every single card in this deck is wild, so a player is always going to be able to play a card on their turn. If a regular wild card is played, nothing happens. Play passes left. If an action card is played, the action occurs. And this continues until a player only has 2 cards left in their hand. When the second to last card is played, that player must say Uno. If an opponent says Uno before them, they must draw 2 cards as a penalty. Typically, a player cannot choose to draw a card. They must always play a card. But there is one special circumstance where a player can draw. So here we have player 3 with 1 card left. They are about to win the game. Player 2 does not have any action cards. If a player is about to win and the person taking their turn before them can't stop them from winning, they are allowed to draw 1 card. That card must be played. If it's an action card, the action occurs. So here, this player would be skipped and they missed their chance to win. If the card is just a plain wild card, tough luck. This player gets to take their turn and go out for the round. The first player to get rid of all their cards wins the round. The player who emptied their hand will earn points based on the cards remaining in their opponent's hands. Standard wild cards are worth 20 points. All of the action wild cards are worth 50 points each. Deal passes left each round and continue playing rounds until one player has 500 points or more. That player is the winner. And that is Uno All Wild. Wow. What are they going to think of next? To continue that 50-year celebration, 50 years of Uno, Mattel just keeps pumping out the variations. This one, I think, is pretty cool, but they had a huge swing and a miss when they did not make the backs of these cards the same as the standard Uno deck. How cool would it have been if you could have incorporated these new action cards into your classic deck? Not to mention the fact that they're giving you about 60 regular wild cards. Swing and a miss, man. But maybe that's in the works. Maybe somebody there has this idea that Mattel could be, or that Uno could be, a collectible card game. Stay tuned for more. I'm always on the hunt for new Uno games. Plus, I have a nice growing library of classic games if you want to check those out. Other commercial games if you want to check out my game aisle playlist. And be sure to check the description for a link to riffleshuffleandroll.com. Check out some original games published by Riffle Shuffle and Roll. And as always, go check out my friends at GameRules.com. It's a great way to search for new games to play. If you want to follow me on Board Game Geek, that link's down there as well. All right, keep it real. And remember, always, 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 stay wild. It's so many wild cards.